Bree, I wanted to ask you, because I asked Pete earlier, what is it you think that men want from women?
I think ultimately a man is seeking a woman that can be his counterpart, I guess, in a sense of like they want someone who is going to be respectful and like have respect for themselves. Like I don't think that men are seeking out women who have no self-respect or are like out in the streets making a fool of themselves, because that reflects your home and your husband or your boyfriend. I think they want somebody that is educated, and I don't necessarily mean as in like they have to have a bachelor's or master's or whatever. I think they just need to be able to have some sense of
No, we're talking about what women offer men. You said that he's got to be educated, have a bachelor's. I'm talking about like, what do women need to do to attract a guy?
physically.
Well, it's generally physically at first, yeah.
What does a woman need to do to attract a man?
Yeah,
Physically?
like what do men want?
Big boobs, skinny waist, fat ass, pretty face. Like
Okay, what else?
That's, I mean, I feel like that is conventionally attractive.
Feminine, yeah, okay. What do you think of the notion that men want a woman to be useful to him? Like not be a burden in his life and add some value to his life?
Yeah,
Does that resonate?
Yeah, absolutely.
What about you, P?
Yes.
Do you have any kids, P?
No.
Bree, you've got a daughter, right?
Yes.
Do you think that changes like your value in the sexual marketplace to men if you bring a child to the table from a prior relationship?
Yes.
By how much? Like, what's the significance of that?
I think it depends on the man and where they are in their life. I think I've been reading the comments on this chat. I think it also depends on what the mother is bringing. Like, are they bringing several children by several different men? Are they still entertaining the fathers? Are they expecting you to be this child's father, to take care of this child too? Like, So I think if you are expecting that, then that definitely like brings you way down. Like this one guy, this Sergeant Slackass, like he's been very, very vocal about my daughter, but I don't bring up my daughter's not on any of my dating apps because that's just weird, and I hate when people put their children on apps like that. I don't bring up
What's
my
he
daughter.
bringing up? I'm not looking at the chat. I don't watch the chat. I mean, Moff handles that. Do you know what he's saying, Moff? Sergeant, whatever his name is.
I've seen maybe one or two comments, but I'm scrolling.
What did he say exactly? Like, what was the feedback?
Like he said, like, so while she's like sleeping with a man, her daughter's in the next room over, and that's never been the case. I think having a daughter is why I'm so picky, and why I don't genuinely like bring men into my home. I don't, because this is not just my home. This is my daughter's home. That's unsafe. I'm not going to bring somebody into her area. Definitely not bringing anybody into her area while she's here, because I just think that's gross and unsafe. And then he was like, so she wants somebody, and then this other guy, this Colonel Buckshot, like looking for a paycheck, looking for somebody to raise their kid, or like, why are you seeking out another man when you had one, stuff like that. And that's not the case for me. I can see it being the case for other women, but I'm not looking for somebody to like buy me out of my single motherhood. Like, that's not something I'm seeking. I'm not introducing my daughter to any men.
What if a guy said to you, Bree, I dig your vibe, enjoy dating, we have fun, but I have no interest in meeting your daughter. I don't want to meet your family. I don't want to come over to your house. You're going to need to come over to my place. We'll date. We'll have fun. Would you be able to roll at that level, or does it have to go further than that for you? Like, do you have to get a further commitment where it leads to something more?
I am not big into the like hookup culture. So if he's calling it what it is, kudos to him, because like Thank you.
Yeah, I think that would probably fall in a category somewhere like friends with benefits, like into dating, maybe like in that space.
Yeah, I would, thank you for being honest, but that's not what I'm seeking. And I'm not saying that like my daughter's father and I have been separated for 2.5 years, and I've never introduced anybody to her because I just feel like that's weird for her and probably weird for the man too.
Yeah, I was just curious from your perspective on what your experience has been and like how you view your own sexual marketplace value as a single mom, because I think for most guys, like if it's like, okay, she's a single mom with 4 kids from 4 different fathers, her value is going to be like if you had an identical twin and you were a single mom with 4 kids from 4 different fathers and you had just 1 kid, you'd probably pick the twin with just the 1 kid.
Yeah.
Interestingly, I did this survey, and I'd like to hear some feedback from the ladies on this. So I presented this survey earlier this year, and it blew up. So I provided 2 options. I said, we've got 2 identical twins. They're 30. One of them has been single her entire life. She's been working on cruise ships, traveling the world. She shared her body with a whole bunch of guys, like her notch count's 70. The other woman has been married for 10 years. She has 2 kids, and she's only ever been with 1 guy. Which one would you prefer to date on a long-term basis? Who do you think they chose?
I'm pretty sure they chose the divorcee. I think I saw that.
What do you think, P?
The one with kids?
Yeah. So guys are turned off by promiscuity so badly that they would rather invest in a woman and another man's kids. What do you think of the notion of a woman's notch count being judged that way?
I don't see a problem with that. That's what that's so picky, because like if you say one thing, then like, oh, you're anti-women, but like I don't know. I feel like if a man doesn't want to be with somebody that's been ran through, then that's his right. Like I don't see an issue with that.
What about you, P?
If those are his standards, then like that's just him, like maybe some guys are okay with that and some will not be. And that's
no,
okay.
it was actually like a survey that got taken by close to 20,000 people, and I think it was like 98% would have chosen the single mom with a notch count of 1 and a couple of kids versus the promiscuous girl that had slept with a whole bunch of dudes.
It's something interesting Brianna said, and Pete, you actually mentioned this earlier when we were chatting, was like anti-woman. Do you find that women generally are nice to one another, or there's clearly some inkling of shaming involved from women to women? I mean, have you 2 experienced this? I mean, as far as like women shaming you for, you said anti-women, like what kind of brought on that comment?
Anti-women as in like, you're not allowed to slut shame. You're not allowed to like, oh, she's a sex worker. Like at this point in our society, it's just like, oh, that's the same as having a secretary job. Like you're just supposed to accept that and not judge them for that. And you're not supposed to. And if any man says, oh, I'm not working or I'm not dating a sex worker, then they're like,
what's a sex worker? Is that somebody that does like OnlyFans, or is that like, we're talking about a prostitute?
Both.
All the above.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say that OnlyFans like encompasses that too, P, as far as sex work?
I would say it. I guess so, with the modern society. Like I don't know. It's just like, for example, if you've traveled to Amsterdam, you go to the red light district. There's actual people in person, but now like people, it's migrated to online. So like anybody can do it from home, I guess. Like, and plus the fact that it's online, like you can use filters. So, like I don't know. Like when I went to the red light district in Amsterdam, a lot of the women they're pretty good looking. So, but from what I've heard from like male friends and females, like not everyone on OnlyFans is attractive apparently. I don't know. I've never been on there. So again, not to put down people who are on there, or using those services, to each their own. But I guess to keep up with the constant evolving society, then yeah, it counts as sex work.
Mm-hmm. The notion of promiscuity is judged by men, it seems, based on that survey result. Do you as ladies like take that in consideration when you're dealing with guys to try to preserve your value and minimize like your notch count? Is that something that you've contemplated?
Yes.
Or does it not matter?
Yeah, I mean, because like the same way that I wouldn't want to be with somebody that's been with everybody, I feel like it would be hypocritical if I was sleeping with every single guy that I matched with, but was setting, the guy that I want to be with to, oh, he can't have more than 3, like that. So I don't partake in hookup culture. I don't have several notches.
What about you, P? You mentioned earlier that you've had a few hookups. So, like, how does preserving your value as a woman come into play?
Well, again, I've learned through experience, like none of these were recent. Waste of 20 seconds of your life. I don't allow anybody to get into my pants, so I have standards.
I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.